am going to let them introduce the school more in detail to you eventually. But in the first part, we are mainly going to interact with the Career Center team, where we are being joined by the head of Career Center, Eloise Capet. She has had different roles at French universities over the last 20 years. She's mainly worked in career development and career coaching. So she's rolled out pedagogical innovations, active learning programs, virtual coaching, and peer grading across her previous roles and the current role. We are also being joined by Iana, who is a Senior Career Center Coordinator at GISMA Business School, and 𝐬𝐤𝐞𝐬𝐬𝐤𝐬, who is a Career Center Coordinator at GISMA, to tell us more about the career opportunities that you can look at as someone who is looking to study and possibly work in Germany. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Eloise to tell us more about the opportunities that you can look at. We will also take your questions for them. So we will ask them a lot of questions towards the end of the session. So if you have any questions throughout the session, please post them in the Q&A window. There's a Q&A chat window at the bottom of your screen. Please post your questions over there. You would also be able to upvote questions asked by other people. So I'm expecting a lot of questions to come in. I'm expecting hundreds of questions to come in. So if you like a question asked by someone else, please upvote it by clicking the thumbs up button, so that we know which are the questions that are relevant and important for you. And we will ask those relevant questions to the GISMA team. With that message, let me hand it over to Eloise, and we will talk more about the career opportunities in Germany that you can expect as an international student. So over to you, Eloise.
Thank you, Sanjay, for handing over and inviting us to this great masterclass. I will start by sharing my screen first. So give me 1 second and I share with the good mode. So we are super happy to be with you here today and very much excited to get questions from the audience. So as Sanjay said, do not hesitate to share. Please, please, please feel free to ask any question. We are super pleased to be here. Welcome to the session Road to Boost Your Career in Germany. Welcome in Germany and welcome in Berlin, because we are all located there and we are facilitating the session from there. So before diving into our topics, let me introduce the team who is going to walk you through the presentation. So I start. I am Eloise Capet. I'm head of Career Center. I am French and passionate about collective intelligence and design thinking. And I love living in Berlin, definitely. And I hand over to one of my colleagues, to Jana, for instance.
Thank you very much, Eloise. So my name is Jana, and I'm a Senior Career Center Coordinator at GISMA. Have been with GISMA since 2019. Interestingly, I'm also passionate about design thinking, so this is something we share with Eloise, and also about other topics such as science fiction or theater. That's a little bit about me, and now over to 𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬
and have been working with GISMA for almost a year now. I am the Career Center coordinator and happy to be a part of the team. Well, something that interests me is food, music, and intercultural communication. So I hand it over back to Eloise to take it further.
Yeah, thank you, Shubhangi. So as you can see, we are also an international team, as our students are at GISMA. So just a quick overview of the agenda. We will focus on our career center activity and tell you a little more about what we do and what we provide. We will then provide you with information about the German job market and job opportunities here. We will also cover tips on employability in Germany and discuss about how we can support you in your German career journey. So if this program fits you, let's start with what is our role at the Career Center. So we deliver a solid job market expertise to students. We also give students access to job opportunities. We ensure their visibility to German employers, and we help them grow their skills to build greater connections in the job market. But before jumping into the core topic, let me ask you two short questions. We would like to know about your curiosity about Germany. So let's break the ice and play together a little poll. And I request Sanjay to send you a first question. Berlin is better known as, what would you say, a political capital, a startup capital, or an artistic center? So we invite you to share your opinion, what you think about Berlin. Is it a city you already know about, or are you discovering this city? And we would be very happy to see the first result of this poll.
So we have around 115 responses. I'm going to keep this open for another 10 seconds. So if you haven't responded, please do.
Yes.
The responses are interesting. Many of you are going to be surprised by the results, but please do keep those responses coming. I'm going to keep it open for another 5 seconds if you haven't yet responded. Okay, and with that, I'm going to end this poll and I'm going to share the results as well. So great, so around 35% think political capital, 43% think it's a startups capital, 22% think it's an artistic center.
So I would say first that you're all right, because Berlin is all of this, all of these elements together, but it is efficiently well known as the startup capital in Europe. That's the correct answer. So if you want to keep on playing with us, the second question, please, Sanjay.
Right, and the second poll question is live on the screen now. How many startups exist in Berlin? So by the way, having been to the city myself a couple of times, I would vouch that it's all of the previous. It's a beautiful artistic city. There's just so much to do, so many nice museums. Of course, it's the political capital, and it's also the startups capital. I know some people who have Indians who have started businesses over there and run some ventures over there. So really exciting place. On this particular poll, I see the responses coming in. We have got more than 100 responses now, and the responses are trickling in. So I'm going to keep this open for another 10 seconds. So if you haven't yet responded, please do take a guess on how many startups exist in Berlin according to you. Okay, around 130 responses now. Another 5 seconds to go. So if you haven't yet responded, please do so now. And 3, 2, 1. I'm going to end the poll and share the results now.
So let's discover your answer. So 70% answered 250, 47% answered 345, and 36% answered 592. And the correct answer is the third one. We count 592 startups in Berlin today. But of course, it's moving a lot because some of them are created, some other do not keep on the job. So it's continuously very varying. Okay, so thank you for playing the game with us. We are very happy to have started with an interactive session with you. And now let's switch, but I need probably to get the control back, probably Sanjay, because I can't move the slides anymore.
So it is, the control is with you, but if you want to try.
It's under my control, but it's, yes, now it's working. So let's now focus on our core topic, which is about job opportunities in Germany. And let's start with this first question. Are there job opportunities in Germany? And the good news is that the answer is yes. A lot of job opportunities exist just for one reason. Maybe you know it, but in Europe, population is getting older and older, and the German labor market depends on non-European immigration and workers. It means that today, European countries, and mainly Germany, are not able to replace the senior people who are working and holding senior positions in companies, and they will have to be replaced in a short time. So yes, there is a lot of job opportunity. So which skills would be needed by 2023? So the data I'm going to share with you are extracted from a survey, a German national survey. And it is said that by 2023, approximately 700,000 positions with tech and soft skill set will be in demand in all sectors. It means it's not only in IT field, but also in every kind of companies, of businesses, there will be a high demand in tech and soft skill set. So technological skills like artificial intelligence, data science, smart hardware, robotics, but also digital skills like digital learning, data analyst, ability to work collaboratively, and soft skills like adaptability, creativity, resilience, and entrepreneurship mindset. And this is really the core skills that we expect from our students, and we help them grow with these competencies within our programs. So which positions offer most opportunities in businesses? Out of the 700,000 recruitment needs, the major position will be segmented in data analyst, 455,000, UX designer, 79,000, IT developers and IT system managers, 66,000, digital transformation project managers, 66,000, and robotic transformation managers, 27,000. So huge opportunities will be on vacancies in the coming months, in the upcoming years as well. So let's just give you a quick overview of where our GISMA alumni work today. So as you can see, they are hired in top 20 companies because a lot of international and global businesses are settled in Germany, and they have headquarters when they are German companies, but also subsidiaries when they are targeting the European markets. So let's say just a few of them get here: Amazon, Volkswagen, Accenture, SAP, Siemens. A lot of well-known and big names are hiring a lot of our students. So it's connection for our current students. Alumni, of course, offer opportunities to open door in the companies where they are hired. And of course, we work at GISMA to make the most out of this alumni community and to connect our current students with our alumni. And we will see later with Shubhangi how we proceed to put you through and in touch with these alumni students. So let's talk about recruitment. Where can we find job vacancies when we are an English speakers? And that's also a good news. A lot of opportunity exists in Germany. First, as I mentioned, a lot of international businesses are settled in Germany, and they are, of course, hiring international talents. And in their job ads, they mention that they search for English speakers. So I just give you a few names: international company like Tesla, Google, Apple, and a lot of German global companies, especially cars, because Germany is well known for car production. And just a quick focus on Tesla, because it's really an upcoming opportunities for job vacancies, because Tesla has recently created a hub dedicated to smart cars. and this is called Giga Factory, and they are like a hub with a lot of smart cars startups located in this hub, and in the Brandenburg, where we have also our school located at Potsdam. There will be a lot of job opportunities for English speakers. So another branch where you can find job opportunities is German hidden champions. We call them like that because they are medium-sized companies, world market leaders in their industry. Most of the time we don't know their name because they serve a niche market, and they are known for producing machines for plastic processing, metalworking, fiber optic. And the name are not well known, but 1,307 of these medium-sized company exist, and more 50% of them export and research international profiles because they need, of course, English speakers to develop the market and to extend, of course, their market internationally, I mean. And the last opportunities that is at your disposal is the field of startups, because in Germany, now you know there are a lot of startups and especially located in Berlin. Every fifth employee comes from abroad, and this is a chance, and we can really underline it, especially in Berlin, people speak English and work in English. And let me just give you this good news for this good to know for English speakers. With a total of 70,000 startups, 3,348 new ones were founded in Germany in 2021. So it means the local ecosystem in Germany is very active, very productive, and very rich, very intense. Large startups rely on international teams. In 3 out of 10 German startups, the business language is English. So people work in English. This is the working language. And when we focus on Berlin startups, they are particularly internationally oriented. And we can say that they have 45% English employees and 46% German employees. So now you will find more foreigners than German people in startups company. So I can just end my presentation by showing a few names of German success stories like Contentful, Gorillas, Get Your Guide, Delivery Hero, and 26. Maybe you already heard of these names, these companies. They are not startups anymore. They are known as unicorns, but it means that the market is very productive and evolving in a good ways. And I would end by saying that come to Berlin, come to Germany. We welcome you. There are really a lot of opportunities there. And I hand over to my colleague, Jana.
Thank you very much, Eloise. So we are coming to the next part of our short presentation today, and namely, how do students increase their employability and can find a matching job in Germany? So we're going to talk a bit in more detail about what specific skills are necessary to succeed on the German job market and some other tips for applications. And maybe not so surprisingly, one of the key differentiators on the market is actually learning about the local language and culture, especially for international students, of course, which is important because Germany and Berlin, for that matter, are international places, and there are a lot of opportunities in English. But of course, German also exists as the local language, and so if you speak German, you increase your employability on the market. So this is something to pay attention to during your study program. And knowing the culture, we also support with that for our events, but exploring the city helps there too. Adaptability is an important skill, again, in current interconnected world where you travel through different places and change environments. It's important to understand the local circumstances and be able to be open to what's happening on the ground and how you can learn and adapt yourself to the new environment. Autonomy is an important skill in Germany in the professional environment, which means that you usually take responsibility for your actions and are able to act independently and proactively, take initiative, let's say, not wait until your boss comes and checks on you every 10 minutes and asks if you're doing fine, but you're rather responsible for your tasks, and if you have questions, you are able to reach out yourself. So that is the part about autonomy. Networking is very important, probably internationally, but particularly in Germany too, and an important aspect for international students, because when you change the country, you might not have a lot of local connections in your new country where you study, for example. So it's important to pay attention to this aspect from the first days and start building connections. This is something that GISMA also supports with through our events that my colleague 𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 is going to talk about in more detail in a couple of moments. But also proactively exploring on your own, getting in touch with other students, with recruiters through the events that we organize, exploring LinkedIn, which gives you a lot of opportunities for online networking, and just being aware that networking is an important topic for career success. Specialty expertise is something special for Germany in a sense that most successful profiles on the market are usually able to show a certain path or area in which they specialize, which means for candidates that they need to reflect on their background and understand where this area of their expertise is, and then showcase that on application documents or on the online profile on LinkedIn, or also through conversations and during the interviews. Being able to show expertise and specialty in a certain area is very important in Germany and might differ from some other cultural contexts where being a generalist, so experienced in all possible topics, is more of an advantage. Teamwork and cooperation, another important skill, of course, probably also outside of Germany, but in Germany in particular, because in most situations you would be working in a team, so being able to cooperate successfully with other team members is certainly an advantage. So let's take a short look first at the recruitment process in Germany. Just give me a second, because I see that the slides are not really cooperating with me and not showing me what we would like to see. And what we would like to see is a short insight into the recruitment process in Germany. Germany has quite formal application documents. That means that quite often a set of documents that are done in a certain format is expected, and there are certain standards for submitting such documents. So knowing about this is important, and you certainly get to know about it as a student at GISMA through our events and support. When you do applications and go through the interviews, you can expect that it will be a series of interviews, and potentially it could be working on a certain case or a presentation test, especially if you're in a technical field, or also preparing presentations. So it can have several rounds. You can also expect quite a long recruitment process. If we compare it with other countries, 3 months would be an average. And as I mentioned, with several rounds of interviews. it doesn't mean that it will be like this in every individual case. It's an average. So let's say if it's a very agile startup in dire need of you as a new employee, it can also work much quicker. But again, if it's a big corporation or maybe a governmental institution, it can be also more than 3 months. So that depends on the context. You can also expect an interview with several people, let's say with an HR, with a hiring manager, with the tech department, with the CEO. If that's a startup, they like to get to know new employees sometimes, depending on the company size. An important aspect is that candidates need to be able to demonstrate maturity and clear career goals. That means that generally German companies expect a lot of proactivity. And so it's important for candidates before they start their job search to understand where their expertise lies, what's their specialty, what do they want to get. And with that reflection, go into the application process. This is also something that we do with students during individual consultations at GISMA, for example. And as I mentioned, proactivity, that's probably the keyword of the day. Candidates need to be proactive in their job search. So go out, look for opportunities, apply, and take their career into their hands, because there is no work placement in Germany. Okay, let's hope that the presentation cooperates with me now, and we get to know about application tips. What can help you if you are currently going through a job search in Germany, and how can you prepare? So some general things that it's good to know about would be that before you start a job search, it's certainly a good idea to reflect on your skills and be selective in choosing the opportunities for application. So only choose the ones that match to your profile, so that you have at least 80% and more of the requirements covered, so that you do not really waste your time with all the formal documents without getting a result. Quite often, complete applications are common in Germany. Complete application would mean that it's a CV, a cover letter, a letter explaining your motivation for joining the company, and submission of degree and work certificates, or also other certificates for that matter, like language certificates, depending on the opportunity. That would correspond to a complete application. Some of the companies also prefer for you to just submit a short CV. They can always specify that, so that happens too. But just to give you an idea what we meant with formal application documents. When you prepare your CV and the cover letter, you need to target it to a specific job opportunity. That's really important. Your application documents need to show how come you're the best candidate for this job, and show all the advantages and the matches in your profile in regards to a specific job ad. And generally, the purpose of the German CV is to provide a clear overview of a candidate profile in maximum 2 pages. That means that 2 pages would be the maximum. Long CVs are not really common in Germany, so you would better stick to 1 or 2 pages. And be mindful about how you present information on the CV, so that it's clear. Recruiters don't have a lot of time to look for the documents, so they should get convinced from the very start by a clear overview and structuring of the information. Where again, being selective is very important. And doing an extensive research on the company and job opportunity is necessary, both for a successful application and of course for the interview, so that you can showcase that you're serious about the opportunity and show your strength as a candidate. And of course, also get to know about aspects that are interesting for you, prepare questions, and so on. So I hope that gives a short glimpse into German professional culture and job search. And now I would like to hand in to my colleague 𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬
I hope the screen is visible. Great. So now that we have a brief idea about what opportunities lie here in Germany, let's get to know How does GISMA Career Center support? So we conduct various career webinars, several panel discussions. We also host alumni interaction sessions. We do several company presentations, Q&A sessions, as well as networking and recruitment events, alongside individual career counseling sessions that we do for our students. Throughout the career webinars, we try to allocate time and cover topics such as creating a compelling CV, which is very important application document, as well as the cover letter. We try to work with you on optimizing your LinkedIn profile, also creating your elevator pitch, which comes across as a short introduction, which you generally use during networking sessions, and also enhancing your awareness about the German business culture. These are a few key highlights of the topics that we cover. The bi-monthly Coffee with Career sessions, the sessions wherein we interact with our students, open to all our students. So to say, we try to address all the career-specific queries, and also we try to explore our career platforms, which are exclusively accessible to students studying at GISMA Business School, which we would also give you a glimpse of in a while. Moving ahead. In this slide, you see two different pictures. So we provide guidance by creating networking opportunities and skill enhancement through various career webinars and workshops. We also do several workshops with external trainers with expertise in different fields. We also work along with teams of our students to enhance and build their skills through various team exercises and games, Tower of Power or Colorblind, to name a few. Well, in this slide, you see a virtual event that was held last year in November, where we organized Meet GISMA Talents event. And for our students, that was a huge success. This is now a part of our annual event plan. The events format actually provided the students with a platform to get to know the company, their work culture, what kind of people work there, what is it if they would be able to work or acclimatize themselves to the company environment. This virtual event constituted of several company presentations, as well as sharing of exciting jobs, some working student positions, internship opportunities that was done through diverse companies at the event. So it was a day-long event where different people participated. Moving ahead, as is visible from the slide, we have a huge employer network in Germany that ranges from known brands, so to say Tata Consultancy Services, Zalando, Delivery Hero, to exciting startups in varied fields covering finance, HR, marketing, cybersecurity, etc. Last year, during our networking and recruitment event, we also collaborated with the German Mittlestand group, the BVMW, that constitutes of a group of hidden champions of the German businesses. Having said that, we have an active alumni network and a lively community on LinkedIn, where an exchange of thoughts, novel ideas, opportunities, information about startups, or some interesting events that are happening in Berlin also takes place. So we have a regular newsletter, as you can see on the slide, which is circulated weekly. And we also do surveys to receive feedback and also try to implement the suggestions that we come across with. In addition to this, to the series of events that we do, we also organize a Meet the Insiders event, where our alumni, for that matter, currently working in different capacities within Germany and also abroad at times, participate and they share their experiences with all the students present here. Well, these platforms, so to say, are accessible to our students that you see on the screen here: Job Teaser, Hired, Europe Language Jobs, Forage, Talent Basket, Interview Fox, Business Graduates. And these comprise of tools to build your CV, create your short introduction as a part of elevator pitch, practice some mock interviews, get insights from employers, apply to various open positions, maybe as working students or interns or part-time or full-time job applicants. Just to give you a quick brief, Forage, for example, is a platform that has opportunities for interested students to have a virtual experience in varied fields through flexible virtual programs that are offered by companies such as BCG, GE, Accenture, to name a few. The other platform that you see here, the Interview Fox, it prepares students for frequently asked questions at interviews by providing tips also to prepare an effective response. But the Career Center portal to avail any career services remains job teaser, and it is essential to enroll there as a GISMA student. Well, this slide provides you an overview of the toolbox for career search that you have. This is a handy toolkit at your disposal. On these platforms, you can create your own profile for free and start exploring the world of opportunities for yourself in Germany. Well, with this, while you start your search on these platforms, you will be able to look for matching opportunities to your profile and interest, and would be aware of the skills in demand in Germany for those specific profiles that you would need to prepare yourselves for. With this, I would say a thank you and would like to hand it over back to Sanjay.
All right, so great. So we did get some insight into the German market and what GISMA Business School does for its students. I actually want to also know more about the school and do an introduction over there as well. So to the audience, I know you do have a lot of questions. I can see in the Q&A window around 23 questions which have come up. Quite a few of those have been upvoted as well. I'm going to take as many questions as possible and ask them to the GISMA Business School team, mainly Eloise, Yana, and 𝐬𝐤𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 business school as well, so that you know more about the school, understand the programs offered, and then ask more relevant questions around that as well. So let me invite Sarah Halls from the marketing team of the business school. I would let Sarah introduce the school, take us through quick slides over the next 6-7 minutes, and then we will get into Q&A and try to answer all the questions that you have. So over to you, Sarah.
Yes, thank you very much. So you can see my screen?
Yes, we can, clearly.
Good, wonderful. So my name is Sarah. I'm the recruitment manager here at GISMA Business School. So I'm in charge of helping the students to start the application and to get successfully enrolled in any of our programs. And I will guide you briefly through GISMA and what we do offer. So actually GISMA is quite old, so over 20 years, and it was founded 1999 in Hanover, which is the capital of Lower Saxony in the north of Germany. And this was our only campus for executive education. And we had a cooperation with, for example, Volkswagen, Sennheiser, or Balsen back then. And now a lot of things changed in the future of GISMA. So about GISMA, we are AMBER accredited, and which is an honor of less than 2% of world's elite business schools. So we have an excellent student support team. So as I mentioned, me and my team, we will start with helping potential candidates and getting fully enrolled in any of our program. Then we will hand over to our visa support team. So if a visa is needed, our team will assist with the application process for that as well. Once a visa is successfully granted and we know when you will arrive in Germany, our accommodation team will hand over to find you a suitable, to assist in finding a suitable accommodation for you. And on campus while studying, as you just heard the great presentation from my lovely colleagues from the career service, they will assist you during your studies in getting to know the German job market. For our programs, we do offer bachelor and master programs. We also have one MBA and also German classes available. We do offer partial scholarships and flexible payment plans for all of our students. As already mentioned, we have not only partnerships with great companies around Germany, we also have partnerships with some of the best educational institutions. I will explain them in more detail in a bit. we have a huge international environment, not only for the students, alumni, and also the staff. As you can see from the 3 colleagues of mine and myself, you can see 3 different nationalities, which is a great opportunity for you as well. And at the moment, we have over 90 different countries representative in students, staff, or alumni. And my colleagues already mentioned the companies we are working with. So GISMA, you need to know that GISMA is split into 2 options. So either you will study with GISMA Global, which is in Berlin or Hamburg, and there we have academic partners. I will mention them in a bit. Or we also have our newest state-of-the-art campus in Potsdam, which is the GISMA University of Applied Science, where we will also award our own degrees. So we are, of course, state recognized. We have different program accreditations like FIBA or the Programmakkreditierungsrat from Germany. As said, we have the Association of EMBA accreditations, which is a great opportunity for you to study with all of our different programs. Study in Germany, as said, Potsdam, Berlin, Hamburg, and in Hanover, we have our language school. It's easy to live here as an English speaker. You will also get German classes included in any of our programs if you want to get at least the A1 knowledge. My colleagues already said it is possible to work in different companies only with English, but it's always an advantage if you know basic German. This will not only help you for groceries or having small talk, but also some companies, especially the smaller ones, they may have the medium of instruction in German. So Germany is recognized for high quality education, many job opportunities with attractive starting salaries. And as an international student, you are allowed to stay after successful graduation 18 more months in Germany to look for a job. Now I come back to the academic partners. So we do work with 3 different great institutions. So in Berlin, at the Berlin campus, we do work with the University of Law from the UK, a well-known institution and highly recognized in the UK, and also Grenoble École de Management. This is a triple crown university. They have the best 3 accreditations a business school can get. And in Hamburg, we do work with GISMA Business School from the UK. This is a double crown institution. And if you are studying any of those programs from them, you will get either a British degree or a French degree while studying in Germany, but they are also internationally accepted. So this is just a quick introduction of our programs. We have a huge variety and more to come. So with our newest campus in Potsdam, we have the Global MBA, the Masters in Data Science, Artificial Intelligence, a Masters in International Business, a Bachelor's in Data Science, and there will be also some new programs starting from this year, September, a Bachelor's in Computer Science, Masters in Engineering and Computer Science. You will find all those programs also on our website if you want to get more information about it as well. For Kingston, we have only 1 program, the Masters in International Business Management, and with ULaw, we have, for example, Project Management, Marketing, or Business Analytics. As said earlier, we either have scholarships or early bird discounts, depending on the intake you would like to start from. We have up to 20 to 35% of early bird discounts available. So the next steps, if you are interested, you can either start an inquiry via the website, or you can call us or send an email to info@gisma.com. You will either get in touch with me or any team members. So they will guide you through the complete application process. They will give you details of how to apply, what you need to submit, about the chances of the early bird or the scholarship options, and they will guide you also about the application process in detail, what the admissions is doing behind the scenes, and when you then hopefully will get the either conditional or unconditional acceptance with us. Yeah, this was just a brief overview now about GISMA. Then thank you. And as said, if you have any questions, feel free to call us, send an email to info@gisma.com, or visit our website for more information.
All right, great. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for the quick introduction. So what I'm going to do is I'm, of course, going to take questions for Eloise, Kiana, and 𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 which got asked by 𝐬𝐤𝐤𝐬𝐤𝐸 from India. he was asking what is unique about GISMA, right? What are the, so if I had to rephrase that question, what according to you are the top 3 things why the audience should look at studying at GISMA Business School? What makes it stand apart from any other universities in Germany?
Yes. So what you definitely need to consider when you would like to study in Germany is that with GISMA, you have a huge variety of programs itself. So we do have the academic partners, and which is also important, the accreditations we have, which is a high standard of recognition and high standard. So that is also sometimes companies looking for. And what is especially about us is also the complete student service. So for us, you will get the complete assistance from step 1, starting the application, then also finishing the application, which is my team. And then we will not stop. You are not alone. You will still get the complete assistance with the visa team, with the accommodation team. On campus, we have a support team. So you will have social activities. You will get assistance if needed, and my colleagues will help you with getting settled into the German job market if you would like to stay. So this is not that common in Germany. So this is a huge advantage that you are getting the complete service and support you need in order to get settled in Germany, and we will assist you as much as possible throughout your complete journey, getting acceptance, coming to Germany, and then living and continue living in Germany.
Awesome. Sounds great. And Eloise, I'm going to come to you with the next question. And this is around the German language requirements. So I know you did mention that a lot of companies recruit English speakers, there are opportunities for English speakers, but is a basic knowledge, I understand the basic knowledge of German is an advantage, but how necessary it is for someone, because in India, learning German is not a very common thing. So a lot of the audience who may be in the session now may not have any background in German, so it could be a difficult language to learn. So any advice for such candidates or the opportunities that they can think of if they come and study in Germany?
From my perspective, I would say that it's always an advantage for the integration, and it helps you, of course, connecting in a better way with people, with companies, with of course, the life here in Germany. We offer the opportunity to start from scratch at GISMA. So when you start studying, you're studying at GISMA, you have courses, classes, German classes to learn the basics. And then I would, and from my experience, I would recommend to go step by step. We also have opportunities here in Germany to find working students opportunity. So some of our students engage in that kind of assignment in parallel of their studying. And that's a good opportunity to learn the language, because you have a job, a student job. So you practice German because you're in touch with different colleagues and you need to practice for the job. And I would say it's important to keep it in mind, because of course it's an advantage. Something we have to keep in mind is that German job market is very competitive. There are also a lot of good German profile and candidates. So they will have the advantage if they, of course, speak German fluently, whereas our international profile don't. So I would say if, of course, you apply to a job ad where it is specified that German is necessary, it's no way to apply. But if the both language are mentioned, I would say it's worth trying, because during the interview, you can also show your motivation. And I would say that at the beginning, you will most of the time use English as a working language. And the more exposed you are, the more you interact in German, the more you will improve, and you will always get the support of your team, the people around you. German really appreciate when you make the effort to speak German. They know that the language is difficult, is hard, but from my side, I've never experienced someone telling me you are doing a lot of mistakes. Your German is awful. How can you learn speak so badly? So they're always encouraging you. So I would say it really depends on the job apps you apply. My colleagues might have a different experience. Yana, Shubhangi, if you want to.
I'm actually going to bring them in as well. So I'm actually going to bring in Shubhangi for my next question as well. And I will request her to touch upon this question as well in that. So Shubhangi, one of the most upvoted questions that I have is from Anjali Singh, who wants to pursue a career, who wants to pursue a master's or an MBA in HR. And she's asking about the scope for HR graduates in Germany. And I know from your profile that you also pursued a master's in HR from the University of Law in Germany. So, and I'm sure you would have seen your batchmates get into the industry, work with, and of course you have the experience as well in the domain. So what thoughts would you have about a career in HR in Germany for an international student?
Well, thank you, Sanjay, for bringing that question up. I see that coming across a lot of times through various candidates approaching me to get an insight into this. First of all, adding on to what Eloise mentioned, German is important for your integration within the work environment, for your day-to-day activities, to get through the city. Because the signages would be in English, but majorly would be in German. So to get along the city, you would need to understand the German, right? So basic German is important. Coming back to the question about HR and its scope, there is a huge scope. It depends on what prospects do you see for yourself and do you aim. When we talk about prospects in terms of opportunities for students, as Eloise also mentioned, you have great opportunities to start as a working student as well, which gives you a brief introduction about the German job market. Also, being in touch with the Career Center, wherein participating in our events gives you an advantage in knowing the business culture more and also being prepared to enter the job market. So that is one thing that I would highly recommend. If you enroll for a program, please do enroll and register for career events for your individual growth in terms of profession. Talking about the HR perspectives or the prospects that HR graduates can have, it's not limited, I would say. So there is a huge scope. There are a variety of opportunities available, working student internships, other opportunities that could probably convert to a full-time role once you show your inclination and motivation to grow and work with the company. There are several startups at the moment in Berlin, as it is a startup capital, which are looking for international talent, to recruit them, to have a diverse team, as we have at GISMA, and to grow within themselves. So it's not limited.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And I'm going to go to the next question. And I'm sure many in the audience know this, or I have always perceived Germany to be an engineering powerhouse. You got the automobile manufacturers, some of the leading ones, the best-in-class cars come from Germany. You got companies like Siemens, who are engineering behemoths as well. Leaving engineering aside, what are the emerging sectors that you see in Germany? So opportunities in finance, opportunities in healthcare, finance, marketing. So any of the top 3 sectors, according to you, besides engineering? Anyone who wants to take that?
Yes, as you've seen already through the 3 presentations from Yana, Shubhangi, and myself, we covered a different area like pharmaceutical, like Siemens, metal company, but also BASF. All these companies are international, or German one, but global companies. And we also have a lot of subsidiaries like Google, like Metaverse, like Apple. All these international companies are located in Germany and extend their market in Europe through Germany. So I wouldn't say, of course, I know this is the reputation of Germany to be focusing on engineering, and they produce, I would say, great engineer. But I think things are changing today, and they need refuel their future because of the changing of climate, the new environment conditions transformation is everywhere. So they need people who have a critical thinking, who are quick decision makers, who are leaders to make the best decision in this changing world, very fast changing world, full of uncertainty. Awesome. And I can see 𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬
that the new programs that are there now in our portfolio, ranging from data analysis to artificial intelligence, these are a few segments that are really coming up very quickly in this fast-moving world, especially in Germany. So that is all that I wanted to add on. Thanks.
True.
That's perfect, because that actually answers the next question which I was going to ask. This was from Lily, who was asking for the job scope for artificial intelligence and cybersecurity after completing a master's in Germany. And Shivangi, as you mentioned, that these are booming fields. You're seeing a lot of automobile manufacturers moving into automated cars. So I'm sure opportunities in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and of course with the tech companies, those are massive and growing in Germany. Deepak, I think your question 2 is answered without even me saying anything. Scope for mechanical engineers in Germany, I think that's a no-brainer. Traditionally, with the whole engineering behemoths which are present in Germany and operate out of there or headquartered over there, I'm sure the scope for mechanical engineers in Germany is well known. But I want to touch upon other areas and other industries. So to the audience, if you have any other questions, please post them in the Q&A window. If you see an interesting question asked by someone else, please upvote it. It really helps me pick up the right questions and ask to our panelists as well. Now, Sarah, this is a question which has come up from Raghav, and this is about the eligibility for the programs. So he's got a 3 years diploma in India. So in India, after class 10th, after your primary education, you can do a 3 years diploma and then enroll into a bachelor's program of 3 years, take it 3 years duration. So he's got a 3 years bachelor's. Is he still eligible to apply, or do you require a 4 years bachelor's for your programs?
No, so he can still apply. So the main requirements are, we need to check first of all which program he would like to choose, and then obviously we need the certificates, transcript from the degree he already has, proof of English. I do know that in India a lot of schools, university, the medium of instruction is English the entire life, but we still need to check because it's not an official English speaking country. And then, of course, personal statement, those kind of things. So we will check this first. I would not say a no immediately, but we need to look into detail what course and what requirements for the specific course. And if it is with an academic partner, we need to check their requirements. But yeah, I'm happy to check if he wants to send his brief introduction, maybe with a CV to info@gisma.com. I can definitely check and I can advise accordingly.
So Raghav, for you, do send across your profile to info@gisma.com, get your profile checked, and of course, mention the program that you're interested in. So check out the GISMA website for the programs as well, and then write in with your query, and I'm sure the GISMA team would be happy to help you. Great. So Anjali, I think your question about doing a master's in HR in Germany is already answered. Shivangi did touch upon this. Eloise, Shivangi, Yana, the next question I have is from Shashidhar, who's asking who wants to build a career in the pharma industry, especially in pharmacovigilance. So from his different question, I know that he's a B Pharma, he's a bachelor's in pharma. So his education is in pharma and he wants to build a career in pharmacovigilance. So any pharma recruiters that you see regularly recruiting GISMA graduates, anyone that you can mention?
I think, of course, so far, these candidates does not intend to open a pharmaceutical shop or to work into, I would say, a hospital. Or we, of course, welcome these kind of profiles because we have companies like Bayer, and which are very well known, and in Berlin, startups ecosystem is also blooming in the medical and I would say the pharmaceutical field are increasing a lot. And I would also say that there are many opportunities, job opportunities for marketing, international marketing, and also data science and all these IT dimensions that are required today for the development of companies, even in pharmaceutical field. That would be my input on that.
Good, 𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬
our alumni who are working in the clinical section of various companies. So that is also one aspect that could be explored.
Yes, of course, the community of alumni is always worthy, and we try to connect students, current students with alumni to make the most out of it, for sure.
Awesome, great. So, okay, I see the next question, which has got 5 upvotes and now a 6th upvote as well. And seems like a very important question, which has been asked by Karan. So, Sarah, the question is about the cost of education, right? So for doing an MBA at GISMA, what would be the tentative cost? If you can give it to me in euros, I can do a quick calculation and tell the audience in INR as well. And also the duration of the program, if it's a 2-year program or a 1-year program.
Yeah, so for example, if we are talking about the MBA, it's a 1-year program on campus. Students can also do it online if they do not want to leave the country, if they are already employed or similar. But speaking about an on-campus 1-year global MBA degree, the tuition fee is 18,000 euros without any early bird mentioned yet, so it's rough 18,000. And living expenses, students need to open a blocked account to provide the proof of funding. So for 1 year, and this is 10,333 euros for 1 year. So in total, roughly like 31,000 euros the students should consider for an MBA.
All right, I'm going to do a quick quick conversion and I'm going to do a quick conversion and check what it's coming in INR. So roughly that comes to around, so the entire cost, including living, the estimate that you gave, comes to around 25 lakhs INR. So significantly cheaper, much lower than what in North America, Canada, UK, or rest of Europe, many countries in Europe as well. And this is before the early bird discount. So there's potential if someone applies early, there's still scope to get 20 to 30% off on this price as well. Would that
Yes,
be correct?
exactly. So dependent on the intake they would like to choose, we either have early bird options available. For example, if they are playing now for January, there's an early bird option, but otherwise we also have scholarship options, which can be discussed during the application process, and between, dependent on the program, 20 to 35% can be deducted.
All right, very interesting. So I would say this, I have worked with 2 leading business schools in the world, one in India, one in Canada. And the cost that you're mentioning, it's actually lower than the cost of education at an MBA program in India. So I worked with the Indian School of Business, and GISMA's cost of program plus cost of living combined is almost 40% lower than what ISB charges right now. So great opportunity, value for money opportunity over there. Karan, those of you who are looking to apply and considering GISMA as an opportunity, I would recommend applying early. There are some early bird waivers, as Sarah was mentioning, between 20 to 35%. They can really bring down your cost of education and make it even further better value for money. And Eloise, 𝐬𝐤𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 Can MBA students also do that? Is there a possibility for them to take up part-time work opportunities as an MBA student at GISMA, or does it become too hectic?
Well, I would say, depending on the academic schedule, they would have to organize their work schedule. So both go hand in hand. There are a few of our MBA students who are working and working in part-time opportunities also as working students. So that is something that could be explored by the students, considering that their academic schedules are not bothered.
Right. And the students who work part-time, they are paid for it, right? So there's a certain, if I understand correctly, it's around 12 euros an hour at the lower end.
It depends on the kind of opportunities. I see Iana has raised her hand. Maybe she would want to give more details or insights to this topic.
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, of course, yes, it depends on the academic schedule, so how well the student can handle the workload and the study program, but generally it's actually a great opportunity because gathering work experience in Germany already during the study program helps with further employment. So either a working student contract or an internship is certainly an advantage.
Awesome, great. So I think that's clear enough windows. So rough cost of education around 25 lakhs without any early bird waivers. With early bird waivers, it can come down by another 20 to 35%. And you possibly have an opportunity to work part-time as a student and of course get experience in the German job market through that experience, through that work, plus also recover some of your investment through the earnings that you get through this part-time work. So great, makes sense over there. I know we are over time. We are already at 8:10 p.m. in India, but I'm going to keep this running for another 5 minutes. So if you have some other really important questions for the panelists, just upvote that question so that I can pick up the right one. In the meanwhile, I'm going to take this question from 𝐬𝐞𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐬 80 percentile above in all education levels and wants to get an admit to a German college. And he's looking for a business analytics course. And what is the scope? Okay, so I'm going to rephrase that question and make it trimmer. So Sarah, Omkar's question is that he's got no work experience as of now, and he wants to possibly pursue a master's in business analytics. Is there any WorkX requirement for that program, or can he confidently apply without WorkX and hope to secure an admit in that program?
So we only need work experience for the MBA program. So for any MBA program around the world, you need at least 3 years of work experience. For executive MBA, even 7 years of work experience. But for our masters in general, you can directly apply after finishing the bachelor's without work experience for sure, or even if you worked already for a certain period of time and you want to continue with any masters, this is also possible. So definitely he can apply without work experience.
Awesome. So I think Omkar, Shadab, it answers your question as well. If you're looking to pursue an MIM or MSc in management or Masters in Management in Germany at GISMA, you can apply without WorkX to both these programs. So any of the master's program, you can apply without WorkX. If you're looking to apply for the MBA program, then ideally you need to have at least 3 years of WorkX. Great. I'm going to run a little quickly through the questions now since we're in the last 4 or 5 minutes. Jyoti, I think your question is already answered about the tuition fee for the MBA program at GISMA. The tuition fee is roughly around, in INR rupees, I did that calculation, it's coming to around 15 lakh rupees. Along with the cost of living, it's coming to around 25 lakh rupees, with some early bird waivers available over that, which can bring down the cost of education further. Okay. Sarah, I think this next question would also need to go to you. This is around the fee structure for the Masters in Artificial Intelligence or Data Science course at GISMA. So for the MBA program, you already shared the fee structure, but can you also give some indication for the master's programs? What is the average tuition fee plus living expense estimate for the master's programs?
Yeah, so for the master programs, we do have different tuition fees depending which masters and which academic partner. So as you mentioned, the masters in data science, artificial intelligence and digital business, it's also a 1-year program, and the tuition fee is 15,500. Also scholarship or early bird option possible, and the living expenses is always the same for all programs. It's 10,336 euros. This is a requirement from the embassy. This has nothing to do with GISMA. So students need to provide this amount in the blocked account in order to get a visa.
Perfect. So Lily, just to for the benefit, if you want to know the cost in INR, the 15,500 euros of tuition roughly comes to around 12.6 lakh Indian rupees. So roughly around 12.5 or let's say 13 lakh rupees if I have to round it off. And for the cost of living, you already have an estimate at around I'm quickly going to skim through to the audience. Those of you who are still in this room, last 2 questions, if you can upvote them for me, that would be great. I can pick those up. And okay, let me take Puneet's question. I'm going to rephrase this. This is the admission test that they need to take. So for the GISMA University of Applied Sciences, the engineering programs or the Masters in Sciences programs that you have, is there any admission test requirement? Do the students need to take the GRE? If you accept GATE, which is very popular in India, or any other admission test that they need to take before they apply to the program? Sarah, I'm not able to hear you.
Hello?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Oh, okay, sorry. So for the master programs, there is no specific test like GMAT or GRE necessary. So for any master programs, we need bachelor certificate, transcript, proof of English, personal statement, CV, and this will be checked then, but there's no specific additional entrance test needed. We only for our bachelor programs with the University of Applied Science, we do have an entrance test after submitting the application.
All right. And Sarah, I'm going to continue on that question for the proof of English. So if let's say someone from India who's done the education over here has this mentioned that the medium of instruction at the undergrad education level was in English, do they still need to submit a separate proof of English through an IELTS or a TOEFL, or can that requirement be waived off if the mark sheets or transcripts mention that clearly?
So it's dependent if the person graduated within 2 years of applying for any program with us, if they can provide a waiver letter from their previous institution, we will consider that as a proof of English. So that is totally fine. If, for example, a student already graduated more than 10 years ago and is now interested in doing another master's, we do need a new valid proof of English. But if it is a recent graduation, we also consider a medium of instruction, a waiver letter.
All right, perfect. So yeah, those of you who are fresh graduates or with less than your graduation year less than 2 years ago, you can actually check for the your waiver, check your eligibility for the waiver of English by sending your transcripts or the mark sheets. So do reach out to the GISMA team if you're looking for such a waiver, check your eligibility, and possibly you may be able to avoid the TOEFL or the IELTS requirement through that way. Great. So I think I have taken most of the common questions, the popular ones. I do see a lot of other questions, around 37 unanswered questions, which is my bad. I wanted to dig deeper onto certain areas and highlight those. To the audience, if your question is still unanswered and you're looking for more insights specific to GISMA Business School or the university or the affiliated universities, I would recommend that you reach out to the GISMA team. The email address is info@gisma.com. Would that be correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Great. To the audience, so write to info@gisma.com, provide as much detail as you can in your first email. So if possible, attach your resume, attach your transcripts so that the team has a complete idea about your profile, and then ask your specific question to them so that they can clarify. Before we end this session, I still have a few minutes. So Eloise, Iana, Shubhangi, Sarah, if you have any parting advice for our audience, any parting words, please do share. I'm sure they would be happy to get some guidance.
Of course, as we are all foreigners living in Berlin, we can recommend the great experience in Germany. It's really an amazing country. I come from France, and Paris is also a beautiful city, but I would say that living in Berlin is much it's chiller, I would say. There are a lot of lakes, there are a lot of clubs, there are a lot of rooftops, and life is really a lot of fun. And we can see that our students are super happy. They build a community. They are very supportive with each other. And I would say we're like a family. We interact a lot with our students as well. We had a barbecue party last week. So of course, students work. They are there for this main assignment, but the socialization is also a great part of the experience. And yes, I think it's a great journey.
And I would vouch for that. Having been to the city, I know the party scene is amazing, very super vibrant. Some of the most happening techno party scene, if I can say it that way. And again, if someone is into history, then museums, walking towards art district, you're like amazing, amazing place, amongst my favorite cities in the world. So I would vouch for the fun times that you're mentioning.
And that's true. And also students share this kind of testimonials. This is a great experience from their side, and they grow themselves because Berlin is very tolerant, and they change. After we had a session last week with students who are about to be graduated, and we asked them what will be the main takeaway after this year spending in Berlin. And this is really what they said. The way I change, I grow myself. It was not only knowledge about getting more knowledge, but also knowing me better and have this personal development experience, which is also amazing.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Sarah, I do want to ask you one thing before we wrap this session. Is the next intake at GISMA for the master's program? So any deadlines that the audience should keep in mind when they apply? And of course, any parting advice to the audience from your end?
Mm-hmm. So the next possible intake is in September or October, dependent on the program the students would like to take. So it's still open, but I highly recommend to consider as well the visa process. So if they are really keen in starting in September, we need to hurry up with any application for a certain program in order to get it done in time. And also there is the option on starting online if the visa is not issued on time. This is also possible. Otherwise, the next possible intake is in January and February next year. And in general, I highly recommend to apply as early as possible, also in order to secure a seat and have enough time for the visa. Because we are still in a pandemic and the embassies are still kind of slow, dependent on the countries. So it's highly recommended that the students are aware of the issue that visas normally, if there's no pandemic, it normally takes up to 2 months. But at the moment, dependent on the country, it can take up to 7 months or even more. So not for India, this is a bit different at the moment. So it's a bit faster, but also longer than 2 months. So that's why we highly recommend that students are aware of this issue if they need a visa to start as early as possible.
Perfect. So Jan, Feb next year is a good opportunity, still decent enough time to try for that. And
Absolutely.
just in case if their visa takes slightly longer than expected to process, they can start their program online and then convert and come over to campus eventually once their visa is through.
Absolutely.
Right? All right, great. So Yana, 𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐤, if any parting words, please go ahead. Otherwise, we'll wrap this session for today.
Maybe I would just add, start networking.
And great tip to the audience from 𝐬𝐤𝐬𝐬𝐬𝐤. LinkedIn is a great platform to network. So you can all send her a connection request on LinkedIn right away. I have done that as well. So you can connect with her on LinkedIn and start networking with her right away.
For sure.
Great.
Most welcome.
Great advice. No, I just wanted to add to this great advice. Yeah, just to be open to opportunities and stay motivated. And if you decide to go for something, to just take the chance.
Awesome. Great. So makes sense. So to the audience, I hope you had a great time in this session, got some great insights, benefited from our conversation as well. I can vouch for Germany being a great place to study. It's a brilliant, beautiful city. I've been to Potsdam as well. I've been to Berlin and really enjoyed my time over there. And of course, Germany is a big economy in Europe, fast growing, of course, in engineering, but also in other domains in finance, artificial intelligence, technology, marketing, and so on and so forth. So if you are looking to study abroad, Germany can be a great destination to look at. So do reach out to the GISMA team if you have any further questions. Do write to info@gisma.com and make the most of this opportunity. Thank you for being with us today. Thank you for being so patient with us. We ran significantly over time, but I hope you found this conversation useful. All the best to all of you. Have a great evening. To the audience and to the panelists, have a great time in Germany, and take care. Keep safe.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much,
All the best.
Sanjay. Yeah, take care to everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Goodbye.